Hey, you're listening to episode 143 of the Keto Diet Podcast, and today we're going to be chatting about my books. I have been in the process of writing 2 books back to back. I'm a crazy person. I'll never do this again, but I loved it so much, even though I'm so exhausted. And you guys have a lot of questions about how the Keto Diet Cookbook is different than the Keto Diet, which is different than Keto for Women. And all these books are out, and you're wondering which one's for me compared to Fat Fueled and the Keto Beginning and Happy Keto Body and how all this works together. So I thought today would be a really great opportunity to explain all of the books. I hope you'll listen to this episode. I've tried not to make it salesy at all. I know that there's like a fine balance between sharing my work and being overly promotional. You know, when you've spent so much time on something and you've given so much of yourself to a project, you get so excited about it and you want everyone to know, especially when you've made as many sacrifices as I have to prepare these books. It's been a huge challenge over the last year with my health, with my mental health, my physical health, to prepare these books. And so I hope that if you have questions about the books or you're wanting support on your ketogenic diet, you may find that one of my 3 paperback books that have come out over the last 2 years might be beneficial for you. And so, yeah, let's get to today's episode. First, by letting you know that the podcast extra and transcript, plus resources and special links, can be found at healthfulpursuit.com/podcast/E143. I've got 3 cool things for you today. And the first one, really exciting, is that we're switching up the format of the show starting April 21st, where I will be answering your health questions on the podcast. If you have been submitting your questions to healthfulpursuit.com/contact, which I've been asking you guys for a little bit, I'm going to start answering the questions that you guys have been submitting on there. So if you do have questions, go to healthfulpursuit.com/contact and I will be answering as many as I can on future episodes of the podcast. And let me know what you think about this new change by tagging me at Healthful Pursuit on Instagram or Facebook and letting me know how excited or not excited you are about this change. The second cool thing is that my second paperback, the Keto Diet Cookbook, is officially on bookshelves, hopefully everywhere. If you haven't already left a review for the book, please leave a review by going to ketodietbook.com/review. It's so important that you do this. Even if you absolutely hated the book and returned it, I'll take any review that you give. It takes moments and it helps so much. The third cool thing is that because the Keto Diet Cookbook is out, I am celebrating with a bunch of awesome ways that you can win some of my favorite keto products. I'm giving away 20 bundles of my favorite things over the next 10 weeks to celebrate the cookbook launch. So when you use the hashtag #TheKetoDiet on social media by taking a selfie of you with the book or recipes you've made from the book, you're entered to win collagen, grass-fed beef liver capsules, avocado oil mayo, avocado oil ranch dressing. We will be choosing 2 winners a week to win all these amazing things when you use hashtag #TheKetoDiet from now until June 16th, 2019. So good luck. And there's so many ways to celebrate, and I'm so thankful that you are along for the ride. Okay, let's do this thing. Welcome to the Keto Diet Podcast, the show all about keto for women so you can burn fat, balance your hormones, and heal your body. If you're new around these parts, I'm Leanne Vogel. You may know me as the international best-selling author of The Keto Diet and author of the upcoming paperback book, Keto for Women, where I'm showing you how to take charge of the imbalances that are ruling your life so you can discover your happy weight in 3 easy steps. Or you may know me as the nutritionist that likes dipping pork rinds in avocado oil mayo. I'm so glad you're here with me today, and thanks so much for listening. So if you've been following me on Instagram at Healthful Pursuit, you probably know that I have been working on 2 new paperback books for the better part of a year. The Keto Diet Cookbook, my second paperback, made its debut yesterday, and my third paperback book, Keto for Women, is debuting in June, and it can be pre-ordered at ketoforwomen.com. And I wanted to chat with you guys about each of the books, what went into the books, the process behind it, my thoughts behind each, where I was at mentally with each of the books, and really what my goal is for these books. So The Keto Diet, my very first paperback, came out April 2017. I can't even believe that was 2 years ago. It's crazy. It feels like just yesterday, but also 10 years ago. And I was in a very different place mentally and physically. I was overcoming adrenal dysfunction, thyroid dysregulation. I was on a bunch of supplements and medicine to try to get my health back. And the book process definitely didn't help things. I went on 5 book tours as soon as the book launched. I went to 40 different cities promoting the book. And it was such a whirlwind of emotion and amazingness. And the book, I had a vision of the book helping one woman understand keto, help it hit her budget, help her share it with her family. And I was so thrilled to meet so many women, so excited about the book like I was. And I wanted to create a resource that made keto easy and made it so that people could adjust keto to work for their needs at the current moment. And with the Keto Diet Cookbook, which launched just a couple of days ago, I got a lot of feedback from the first book saying that you wanted simpler ingredients, more dairy, easy to use recipes with less instructions, and also complete meals so you didn't have to worry about combining one recipe with another recipe and balancing out the macros. You wanted more Instant Pot pressure cooker recipes. You just wanted things to be easier. And in addition to that, many of you said that meal planning for your family or even yourself for a week was a complete nightmare and took you like hours siphoning through a bunch of cookbooks to build a meal plan that worked for you and your goals and your hunger level and all the things. And also were recipes that you could reheat as leftovers, a lot of them getting soggy or melting and you just being frustrated with that. Back to today's episode in a sec. Today's show is brought to you by Four Sigmatic. Years ago, I was addicted to caffeine and it wasn't pretty. Multiple pots of coffee is what got me through the day. And if I didn't have enough, I'd suffer through headaches. If you want to get off the caffeine roller coaster like I did, try Four Sigmatic coffee. It has half the caffeine of the other stuff, but tastes like the real deal. What's the secret? Think of it like a 50-50 mix of coffee and unicorn dust brought to you by the power of mushrooms. Mushrooms have been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries to treat fatigue, sickness, kidney disease, and low sex drive. Their coffee is a blend of organic Arabica coffee and mushrooms focused on increasing brain power, lowering stress, energy boosting, and more. You can use the coupon code KETO for 15% off all things at foursigmatic.com/keto. Unsure of the link? Check out today's show notes for all the details. Okay, back to today's episode. So with the Keto Diet Cookbook, I wanted to develop recipes that were super simple to make, super delicious, served 4 or more people, could be frozen quite easily, defrosted easily, reheated easily, could be made in the microwave or the oven or the stove, could have dairy added to it or removed to it. So that's how the Keto Diet Cookbook came about. And something that's very unique to this book is the meal planning system throughout. So I've developed a quick calculation that you can do to determine what meal planning combination you can follow to hit your goals and your hunger level. And it spits out how many small, medium, large, or huge meals you need to eat in a day to hit your goals. And then each of the recipes in the book is either small, medium, large, and huge. And each of these sizes has a color to it. So the whole book is organized by color. So when you're planning your meal, you say, okay, I need 2 yellows, a red, and an orange. And so you could just plan out your meals that way. And a 1-week meal plan is going to take you anywhere from 3.5 to 5 minutes, depending on how many meals you are structuring up. And I think it's so cool to be able to provide you with this resource that's going to make planning your meals and hitting your macros so much easier without stressing, sitting on your macro calculator, trying to figure out how to combine different recipes to make different meals. Because I know that when I was counting my macros and really trying to hit a goal, it was really overwhelming. And I know that there are so many cookbooks out there now for keto, and I really wanted something that you could use practically. And the dairy thing was a big piece. I am personally dairy-free. I feel like many of us could benefit from a dairy-free lifestyle, but I also understand that there are a lot of you out there that love dairy. And so any recipe where dairy could be added, I gave you instructions on how to add. And if you don't do dairy, I gave you instructions on how to not include. Now, when it comes to cheese, a bunch of you guys have been asking, okay, but what about the cheese? How does the cheese work? Now, on things like lasagna, I made a couple of lasagnas, a regular zucchini lasagna with zucchini sheets, quote unquote, and also keto bowls of lasagna. If you can do cheese, it's very easy. Add shredded cheese. If you can't, I've given you a couple of options of how to buy dairy-free cheese or how to make your own dairy-free cheese in less than 5 minutes with ingredients like coconut oil and eggs, not fancy things like nutritional yeast and all the things. And that was another big piece to the Keto Diet Cookbook, was toning down the fancy ingredients. I asked you what sweeteners you preferred the most, and I got the answer stevia and erythritol. So I used these interchangeably. So every recipe that includes a sweetener calls for either erythritol or stevia. So it'll say like use a 1/4 cup of erythritol or 5 drops of stevia. So you can decide. There's no xylitol, there's no other sweeteners. I wanted to keep it really simple. Same with oils. You're given an option between coconut oil, avocado oil, or ghee, basically throughout the whole book, because I figured that those were the 3 that were the most accessible for everyone, and they're interchangeable throughout the entire book, so it makes it really easy. Also for the cold recipes, I included olive oil, but no fancy ones like lard or tallow, which might be more challenging for some people to find, and also can be more costly if you're not making it yourself. Back to today's episode in a sec. As a Canadian, I've been really spoiled with healthful meat all through my life. Grass-fed, grass-finished beef, pasture-raised chicken, heritage pork. I grew up on this stuff, and it tastes so much better than conventionally raised products. The beef fat is yellow, rich with vitamins A and K. The chicken falls off the bone and tastes like magic. The pork cooks quickly and with so much flavor without the need to marinate. You can taste the quality, and until recently, it's been really hard for Americans to get their hands on high-quality meat products that do their body good. And that's why I love ButcherBox, a meat subscription service that delivers this quality to your door every single month. Listeners of the show get a free breakfast bundle in their first ButcherBox, which includes 2 pounds of perfectly seasoned breakfast sausage and 2 packs of bacon free when you place your first order. The bundle will automatically be applied to your first box when you go to butcherbox.com/keto diet and sign up as a new member. This offer is only valid for the month of April 2019. So go to butcherbox.com/keto diet to get your free breakfast bundle. If you're unsure of the link, simply check out today's show notes for all the details. Okay, back to today's episode. So that's the cookbook in reality. Really, the takeaway with the Keto Diet Cookbook was I asked you guys a lot of questions over Instagram, newsletter, lives, YouTube, and I got a bunch of feedback and then actioned on absolutely every single piece of feedback to really develop a book for the people. So I hope you're loving it right now. Again, you can find out more by going to ketodietbook.com, and please leave your review if you already have a copy, because that would just be amazing and helps me so much. And you guys really stood up last time when we launched the Keto Diet book. We had over 1,000 reviews in a couple of days, and that helped so much with the success of the book and allowed me to write more books, because guys, like, if these books don't sell, I don't get to write more books. And the last book, the one that I am just finishing up my work on right now, is called Keto for Women. It complements my program, Happy Keto Body, so well. And I think it makes sense now to tell you that the information in the keto diet compared to the information in the Keto Diet Cookbook, compared to the information in Keto for Women, compared to the information in Happy Keto Body and Fat Fueled and the Keto Beginning, all of my online resources are all different. I really try very hard to make sure that there's no duplicate information in any of these resources so that you can pick up whichever resource resonates with you in this current moment. And as you grow into keto and you get more resources, hopefully from me, hopefully if you enjoy my work, that they build on one another and don't just repeat each other. So with Keto for Women, this book was very challenging to write. There's not a lot of research on women on keto, so it was very important to me that I researched the heck out of what was available. So there are pages upon pages of sources for this book, specifically with endocrine imbalances. It's really focused on delivering the steps that you need to achieve and discover really your happy weight. And so I structured the book a little bit differently than other books of its type. You might see a theme here. I'm always trying to think outside the box, outside of what other people have delivered to you, so that I can make a unique resource that can hopefully help as many people as possible. So I developed different stages of the book. Part 1 explains what keto is and why it works in case the concept of low carb living is completely new to you. I'll show you why understanding your body is important to your process. When you understand your body, making decisions becomes way easier. I'll explain what keto does to each and every one of your essential hormones and why balancing them is key to success on keto. And we'll clear up some myths and misconceptions that are likely standing in your way of reaching keto nirvana. Part 2 introduces the 3 sequential steps to becoming a fat-burning female. I'll show you how to figure out what to eat, how to eat, and why certain foods will work for you while others will stall your progress. We'll build a meal plan that's easy to follow, get you into ketosis and keep you there without stressing out about every little thing. We will develop a fasting protocol that helps you hit your goals, keeps you satiated and not going crazy about food. We'll bust through weight plateaus, figure out why you can't lose weight, tackle roadblocks in your way, and develop a protocol that makes eating keto for life so easy. Now, part 3 will help you go an extra mile to improve specific health conditions like PCOS, autoimmunity, inflammation, horrible experiences with menopause, cardiovascular conditions, gut support, and more. We'll work together to customize your keto with tiny little tweaks that'll make a world of difference. So there you have it, everything you need to become a fat-burning lady who has it all. And that was really my goal with this, was to provide you and encourage you and empower you with information that you could use to really make a change in your life. So that is the keto diet versus the keto diet cookbook versus keto for women. You can find out more about keto for women by going to ketoforwomen.com. And when you pre-order Keto for Women between now and June 10th, you're entered to win one of 3 VIP memberships into Happy Keto Body. This is the very first time and probably the only time we'll give away these memberships valued at over $600. Again, you can go to ketoforwomen.com, find out more about how to pre-order, how to enter yourself into that giveaway. The giveaway is open to absolutely every person that pre-orders a book. There are no limitations. So again, ketoforwomen.com. And I hope overall that helped to answer your questions about the books. If you have any other questions about the books or about my work, you can message me over on Instagram at Healthful Pursuit. I'd love to answer your questions and make sure that you are getting the resource that will best suit you. And thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys. Okay, bye. Thanks for listening to the Keto Diet Podcast. Join us again in a couple of days to discover more Keto for Women secrets for your fat-fueled life. The Keto Diet Podcast, including show notes and links, provides information in respect to healthy living, recipes, nutrition, and diet, and is intended for informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor is it to be construed as such. We cannot guarantee that the information provided on the Keto Diet Podcast reflects the most up-to-date medical research. Information is provided without any representations or warranties of any kind. Please consult a qualified physician for medical advice and always seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding your health and nutrition program.